NBA awards are narrative driven, so it would be tough for the media to just let Indiana take all the awards by storm and hoard them all, but that doesn't change the fact that you can make a case for why a Pacer should be in the discussion for each of the major NBA awards. First and foremost, we got Rookie of the Year, the Wilt Chamberlain Award. You know Bennedict Mathurin is one of the frontrunners for this new trophy. He was drafted 6th overall and is easily one of the best rookies in the 2022 draft class. Yes, Banchero is averaging 3 more points and is also a frontrunner for this award, but comparing them is a little difficult because he is a front court player, so he is getting about 6.9 rebounds per game. With that in mind, Mathurin as a backcourt player is averaging 4.1 rebounds, which is excellent for a shooting guard. Bennedict is also putting up 17.8 points per game. Most impressively, he's doing this in 29 minutes per game. Banchero plays 35 minutes per game. Mathurin's per 36 stats are much better than Banchero's, plus Mathurin is playing winning basketball, as Banchero's Magic are currently 13th in the East as of this recording. As for your 6th Man of the Year, the John Havlicek Award, remember how I just told you about all the amazing stuff Mathurin's been doing for his rookie season? I forgot to mention, or maybe purposely left out, that he was doing this off the bench. Would the NBA media award Rookie of the Year along with 6th man in the same season? That's hard to say, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Mathurin is having one of the strongest 6th Man of the Year arguments this season so far. His biggest competition will probably be Jordan Poole, who is averaging a very similar 17.9 points per game, but he did start about 10 games this season. Mathurin seems designated to the bench for the rest of this season. As for Most Improved Player, the George Mikan Trophy, we gotta go with Tyrese Haliburton. Now I will say that Most Improved Player has a ton of competition this year, from the likes of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to Lauri Markkanen and even Bobo. But Tyrese definitely has a case to be made, as he's pretty much improved all of his stat categories, from scoring more points to averaging more assists, and he's got the highest active assist average in the NBA at the moment, dishing out over 10 a game. Most importantly, he cut his turnovers down to 2.8 per game, which is insane considering how much he handles the ball and how many times he passes the ball. As for Defensive Player of the Year, the Hakeem Olajuwon Trophy, we gotta go with Myles Turner. He's got a defensive rating of 110. To put that into perspective, Marcus Smart, last year's winner, currently has a defensive rating of 113, which makes Myles better by about 3 points. Turner is averaging 2.3 blocks per game and 7.7 rebounds. His biggest competition this season is Brook Lopez, OG Anunoby, and Dillon Brooks. While Brook Lopez is averaging 0.5 more blocks and statistically looks like the better defensive pick, Turner is all alone in that front court, and as far as defense is concerned, he's doing more with less. How easy do you think it'd be to play defense if Giannis is guarding the opposing team's best scorer? OG Anunoby is a wing player, so that's a little tough to compare, and he does lead the league with the highest steals average at 2.4 steals per game, but Myles has a better defensive rating than him, and he also has a better defensive rating than Dillon Brooks, who at this year has a rating of 113, just like Marcus Smart. Next is the Clutch Player of the Year, the Jerry West Award, and this is a little hard to judge because this is the very first year of the award's existence. So are we just going based off of clutch stats within the final 5 minutes, or who has the most game winners? It's a little tough to pick. If this is a buzzer beater race, there's only been 6 game-winning buzzer beaters so far this season. One of them does belong to Indiana Pacer Andrew Nembhard, and he hit a must-win do-or-die 3 when they were down by 2 against the Lakers. Obviously, he sunk the 3 and won the game. And here's a crazy stat line for you. Only 2 players in NBA history have had a game with 30 plus points, 12 plus assists, 8 plus rebounds, 5 plus 3 mades on 60% shooting. One of these players is LeBron James. The other is Andrew himself, and he's just a rookie. Who knows how good he's going to be in his prime? Next up, we got the Coach of the Year, the Red Auerbach Trophy. And obviously, if we're making a Pacer argument, this would have to go to Rick Carlisle. And there is a pretty good argument here, as last season, the Pacers were 13th in the East. As of this recording, they're currently 7th in the East, and if they keep up the pace, no pun intended, they will have an opportunity to nearly double their win total from 25 to around 45, possibly even pushing 50. It will be tough to win Coach of the Year with a lower seed, I do admit that, but making the playoffs when no one expected them to is something worth celebrating if they can pull it off. And last but not least, the Michael Jordan Award. Who will win MVP? I know beating Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum for MVP this year will be tough, but hear me out. Tyrese is playing phenomenal basketball, and it goes underreported, well, because aside from playing in a small market, he doesn't have the flashy point per game total or headline worthy triple-double stat lines, but at age 22, Tyrese is putting up numbers like prime MVP Steve Nash, and I'm not kidding. First and foremost, his assist turnover ratio is about 4-to-1, so every 4 assists, he only has 1 turnover. This is on par with prime John Stockton, prime Chris Paul, and prime MVP Steve Nash. In fact, Tyrese Haliburton is the first player in NBA history to have 3 straight games of 10+ assists and 0 turnovers. More specifically, he dished out a total of 40 assists during that run. He's also averaging an NBA high 10.6 assists per game, the highest average in the league at the moment, along with 19.8 points per game and going 40.2% from 3. In Steve Nash's first MVP season, he put up 15.5 points per game, 11.5 assists per game, and in his second MVP season, he averaged 18.8 points per game and 10.5 assists. In both of Nash's MVP seasons, he had a PER nearly equivalent to Haliburton's PER of 23.2. As of this recording, the Pacers have a better record than the Mavs and a better seed than the Mavericks, so there's that argument against Luka. Now, the argument against Jason Tatum will be tough considering the Celtics have a much better record, but the Celtics also have a much better team. Tyrese is doing more with less. Will he actually be the first NBA player to get the Michael Jordan trophy? With the media at the helm, probably not, but you could make a strong argument that he is one of the top candidates. And no disrespect to any of the other candidates, there are a lot of great picks for MVP this year, from even the likes of Giannis and Steph Curry. You can't forget Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. But it's also not outlandish to put Tyrese in this discussion. So these were my arguments for how a Pacer can win each of the major NBA awards this year. Will it happen? Who knows? Let me know what team do you think can win the most awards this year. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.